Okay, so here's a little update. Got some more things planted. Lots of tomatoes. Some celery. I'm sorry, not celery, lettuce, kale, basil. And I got some more empty cells here for some peppers because some of the peppers have not been growing. These are on a heating pad underneath here. As soon as I put them on the heating pad, they started germinating pretty fast now. Some have not. So the ones that haven't, I'm going to plant in these empty cells over here. If they come up, they come up, and I'll just get more pots to grow those peppers. Then in here, I've got some big beef tomatoes that are ready for a little transplant into a bigger pot. So I'm going to do that this morning. Probably the peppers too, and certainly the cauliflower. So that will be today's gardening agenda. These are the sweet Spanish onions. This is lettuce, which will go in the hoop house, if I can get in there. The ground is pretty workable in the hoop house. It's out there. Needs some fixing up, but that'll be okay. This is the red onions. Doing good. These are the Walla Wallas. Looks like I have 4 that germinated. These are blueberry bushes. Here is the bok choy. And I moved the eggplant and some peppers underneath this light. It's pretty close now, until I can get those in bigger pots. Okay, so I have these very leggy beefsteak tomatoes. How many inches would you say this is, honey? About 3 inches up to these leaves?
Yeah, maybe 4.
And I'm going to put these in these pots that I picked up at Lowe's. It's got a little shelf in here for a little water reservoir on the bottom. And it's just temporary until I can get these outside. Just like last year, I planted my tomatoes too early. Not all of them, just these. So I have some young plant mix I'm going to use, natural and organic. It's very dry, so I'm going to put these in a bowl and wet them. Okay, so I mixed water in with the potting mix. A little bit of warm water, not cold, not too warm, but we don't want to put the tomato roots in shock, so try to keep it like room temperature type warm. And not too much moisture, just enough where you could squeeze it and it stays together a little bit, but still a little crumbly. So I'm going to put this in these pots here. Okay, I'm going to make a well, a very deep well, actually straight to the bottom in the center of this, because we're going to be putting this whole thing in here. And hopefully these are tall enough. Let's take a look. Let's try one of these. Let's see what these look like. Okay, so you can see some of the roots came down here. So we do need to try to get this in here. Let's see. Let's try to take one. It's got a shallow root. And try to bury that as deep as possible. And I'm going to bury it up to those first leaves. Now, because the stem of the tomato plant roots very easily, you can put it sideways if they're too long. I did that last year when I put them actually in the raised bed garden outside. I had to put them, they were like a foot or two high, and I really had to lay them sideways and pop up. And they did absolutely fine, so that's good. All right, so there's one beefsteak. And I'm going to do the other three now. What I did there was like 4 or 5 in each cup. So I took like 2 of the thickest stemmed ones. And the other ones will be composted back to the earth. Not a total loss. That helps with my guilt of clipping their life away. Okay, now I have like just a little brush and just get some dust, get the soil off the leaves. And I'm not so sure I'm going to water them just yet. Maybe later this afternoon. The soil's pretty wet, and I don't want the roots to go into shock. And I want the water to be room temperature, so I'll get that ready for later. Now I have to put these under some lights. I might have to raise those up a little higher in there. Hello.